Alright, y'all, so I am about to make a blackberry yogurt bowl for everybody. Hey Arthur, good morning. So I don't know if they're gonna send out these notifications, y'all, but I don't know. But I'm putting it out there, okay? I don't know. Or it just may not be some people, vibe or whatnot. I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead and do this. So I got some blackberries, okay? And I need to clean them. I'm surprised they lasted this long. Normally a day or two, that's it. I bought these more than a day or two, okay? So I'm about to wash these strawberries. I mean, not strawberries, these blackberries. So I'm putting them off in this salt water. Allergies acting crazy. Oh, they is good one in this container. But as long as I had them in the refrigerator. So I'm putting them in this bowl with salt water so I can wash them, okay? Today is October 30th, 2025. Yeah, they all look like they was good. That's a win-win situation. You ask me, didn't lose not none of them. Not none of them. Like I said, I have salt water in here. So. Mix it around. I'm going to rinse them real good. That salt water really, really cleans them. That's all. And I'm just going to rinse them around some too. I want to get all the salt out. Let me throw this away. These are Blackberry Greek yogurt bowls. And I'm saying Greek yogurt, put emphasis on that because after doing my research, Greek yogurt is supposed to be healthier, okay? Y'all haven't saw my, it's a video y'all haven't saw, or a vlog. But I got to edit and get up for y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let's make sure it's not open. My Greek yogurt, I'm not a great big fan of it. But hey, it's healthier than the other ones. Lower in fat, all that type of stuff. And I'm just going to have to get used to it. Because I normally would do Activia or something. I tried the Chobana. I like the Chobana Flip, the peppermint one. But I didn't care for the one with the fruit in the bottom. And from my understanding, that one is not as healthy. So plain Greek yogurt is supposed to be the best, okay? And this is great value. Greek yogurt. And this has, it's non-fat, and it has 17 grams of protein. And from my understanding, yogurt is milk yogurt is a animal protein because it's made from milk, okay? So I told you I need animal protein. That plant-based stuff don't work for me. My body is not built for complete plant-based. I've tried, and it's just no. So good serving of yogurt. Alright, so this is plain. No fruit, nothing is plain. So look how five of these little bowls takes. This yogurt is about done. When you feed 5 people, it don't last. That's why I'm trying all I can to get food. Like I said, you cannot never have too much. Ain't no need of me saving that little bit of yogurt in there, so I'm just going to next, I am going to put the blueberries. Trying to make sure each bowl got a good helping, a good serving of what they need. Alright. Got all the blackberries on there. And now, the way I'm going to sweeten this is I am going to use some, this is Nature Made Triple Berry Organic Granola. That's what it say. I'm just reading what it say. But it's triple berry and it's got dried fruit in it. I put it in my mason jars, but it's got like dried fruit. I don't have the package, so I don't know, but I think it look like raspberries or whatnot. But it is so good, okay? So good. All right. So I'm gonna top it. This is a good source of protein. I told y'all we back on our clean eating. This is how I used to eat and felt my best. I felt my best. Natural way of doing it is eating right. You know? Alright. So here is how the yogurt bowl looks up close. That looks so good. So good. Alright. So that's what we having. Y'all here? This is Oronde. I'll take it back there in a minute. Alright, so let me do a taste. Oh. What? Why you look like that? You want to eat that yogurt? You look like... Alright. He knew it would come. He don't care for yogurt and cottage cheese. He won't do. Yogurt, he just not starting like, you know. But hey. All right, y'all. So here it goes. Let me try this. Give this a little tasty test. Take some of this product off my lips. All right. See, y'all quiet. What you think?
It's good. It's really good.
The Great Value Greek yogurt. It's good. I've made this with regular yogurt before. Well, yeah. Now I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to continue to buy it. Guys will. But the Great Value Greek yogurt It's more tangy than the Chobana that we had bought. The Greek yogurt that was the Chobana brand. The Great Value one is more tangy. That what threw me off. And the blackberries.
It's sour, but it's sweet.
Yeah, they have more. I'm getting more of a sour taste from them. So it's clashing with the Greek yogurt. But it's good. It's something that I can eat. You know? Now, you can take this and put your little agave, a little honey, or whatever the case may be, over it as a natural sweetener. Back in 2020, when I went dairy and gluten free, I was not using. That's when I literally like dropped weight. Like I had to like stop because I was, but my gallbladder was messed up, and I didn't know that was causing everything, and they wouldn't take it then, okay? Because the surgeon then said it's an invasive surgery, and I guess with COVID and stuff going on, he didn't want to, you know, I'm guessing that's what the reason was. I had time on the gallbladder, but until then I got off gluten and dairy because when I wasn't eating gluten and dairy, I didn't have, issues. So I was using dairy-free yogurt, and I would do this, it was a plant-based yogurt, so delicious. But then it started bothering me. So when I was able to do yogurt, it was like Activia, and then I would make it like this. Greek yogurt, never really been a fan of it, but it is healthier, okay? So yes, I can eat this. I can eat this mentally. I can eat this. It's not my Activia yogurt, but I can eat it, okay? It does taste better than the plant-based yogurt I used to eat, okay? So, especially with not having the gallbladder and the bile that goes into the intestines, straight into the intestines, it's important for me to have a good probiotic, something like yogurt and stuff, because that's concentrated now. I don't have that organ to disperse it out in little amounts. So it's a lifestyle change because things goes in stages. And I done pretty much learned to know how it feel, what is about to happen, what I didn't eat enough that morning, or whatever the case may be. I have learned the stages because it is a lifestyle change. And one of the lifestyle changes is Greek yogurt is the best yogurt, okay? I know they says Chobana and Siggy is supposed to be the best ones, those brands, but they expensive. So Great Value Greek yogurt it is, okay? I just got a blackberry that was sweet. So it's a mixture. Yeah. Because of that, I don't need any agave or honey. And I have to be careful with honey because certain ones don't agree with me. I don't know why. And I don't do well with high sugar content. I've noticed that. I think I've been like that with the GERD. I just ignored it for years and years. But high sugar content, and that's not good for my anxiety neither, okay? I'm already on a high every day. I don't need nothing making me even higher, okay? I don't need nothing making me even higher. I can dig it. Good source of protein. Good for gut health. Better than buying the ones with fruit already in it. Because doing it this way, every mouthful I got a big blackberry. Are y'all experiencing that?
Mm-hmm.
This boy about done. Where the blackberries at? You too. You three.
It's better than the store-bought because the store-bought, it doesn't give you actual fruit. It gives you gel.
Gel, yeah, like puree. So,
And I can tell that they're sweeter.
no.
The puree is like sweet. It tastes more sugar than fruit.
Yep. And then that texture on them puree ones. That granola is good. You full. It's the protein.
Oh my god. Refreshing.
Refreshing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Let me see how come here. I don't want to be looking into the camera eating this because this is one of them things. You don't look into the camera and eat and talking to people. Or look in people's face and eat. Let me see. Hey, Eartha. Dominique, hey. Kayla, hey. You're welcome. Kayla, I'm going to be going live so much, honey. So just, when I get through with this one, I'm going to go ahead and schedule my next one. And hopefully that helps. Because I'm going to be going live a lot, okay? I'm going to be going live a lot. That was something I was supposed to do. Bring my other phone off the bed. Oh, I ain't tell you which one.
No.
I'm working, y'all. I'm vlogging and going live at the same time. I said buckle your seatbelts. The Stable Homestead. Hey, Christy L. Okay, listen. Delicious. I'm going to try it. Please try it, honey. It is so good. Mrs. Charles. Dominique, my husband won't eat yogurt on his own either. I just have to give it to him. Yes. Mm-hmm. During the last couple of weeks, Jess was able to get Oronde to eat yogurt. Excuse me, y'all. Burping. Painted. Painted. Hey, sis, love yogurt bowls. And you got me on fruit with cottage cheese. Yes, honey. And my mom eat it. Now what? That's what I'm talking about, honey. And I got some off up in there. I'm waiting to dig into, okay? I gotta wait though. Can't do both of them at the same time. Priscilla, I just finished watching the daily scripture on my laptop and watching this live on my phone. Thank you so much, Christy. Thank you, honey. I've been looking for you. I work overnight, so I have been sleeping, but a faithful playback. Thank you, Kayla. And I still got to do the meatloaf for you and Yolanda. I haven't forgot. Okay? I haven't forgot. I'm going to do it. When I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Just give me some time. I'm going to do it. So, yeah, y'all. So, I'm going to go ahead and schedule my live streams out. That way you know what's coming up. For any reason that I have to cancel a live stream, I will just change the date or the time or whatnot on it. But yeah, I'm going to do a lot of live streams. Okay? And as I have different things that I need to do. Well, let me see y'all comments here. So I ain't gotta keep walking around. I think I will buy some oats to make granola. Yeah, that is my plan. Tricetta. But I gotta use the ones I got on hand first. But yeah, I have been thinking about going ahead. I used to make it some years ago, but then I just stopped. But it definitely tastes a lot better. And to me, it's a lot crunchier than chewy when you make your own. So I agree. I'm patient. Thank you, Kayla. So, yeah, y'all. Whew. I'm going to eat this. And then I'll probably, 12:16. Oh, yeah. I got something that is a must. So, yeah. So, I already know what my next thing is going to be. What I'm going to have to do. So, I'm going to go ahead on and finish eating this. And while I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and create my thumbnail and go ahead and schedule my next live stream, okay, that I got to go ahead and do. Let me see. Yeah, that I'm going to go ahead and do. Here in a bit. Tracy, no, I don't think so. Because, let me see. I think Greek yogurt stabilizes blood sugar. If you get it plain. Okay, Greek yogurt does not cause a significant spike in blood sugar levels. But, and they say here's why. Low glycemic index. Greek yogurt has low glycemic index, which means releases glucose into the bloodstream slowly. High protein content. Greek yogurt is rich in protein, which help regulate blood sugar levels by promoting safe whatever they're saying, and reducing insulin sensitivity. And it's a probiotic. Greek yogurt contains probiotics that may have beneficial effects in blood sugar. But I will say this. It depends on now. If you get Greek yogurt and you put a lot of sugar stuff on it, then that's different. That's taking the healthiness part away from it. But I put fresh blackberries, and I put and I know you gotta be careful if you are diabetic, if that's why you asking this, you gotta be careful with some natural sugars because they will spike. Okay. But I put fresh blackberries. I did not put no if I were to put a sweetener, it would have been like honey, agave, and that's just because I'm doing that because I'm eating healthier. And I don't have that I know of any diabetes or anything like that. Actually, my A1C in August was actually in the 4s. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. My granola was supposed to be organic, but y'all know how I feel about that. But it wasn't like sugary or anything like that. So I think if you stay away from a lot of the processed stuff to go in it and stick to more fresh, natural stuff, then yeah, and the Greek yogurt itself is great. Okay, it is really, really great. I'm thinking that when I go back to see my doctor, that's one thing. When I had the hospital visit in August, that's one thing they told me to everything was fine, and they couldn't figure out, you know, why I was feeling the way I was. But then we put it to not eating, and they think that I may be hypoglycemic, not diabetic. He said make sure to ask her about being hypoglycemic without diabetes. Okay. And that I mean, but I was told years and years and years ago, like 2 decades ago, that I'm supposed to eat every 2 hours. For one, for the type of anxiety that I have, and for two, because I have GERD. And that's just what was told. I was supposed to eat every 2 hours, but I was going to eat once a day. And so by the time I got there, my blood sugar was a 73. So I already was on the lower end, but still within. So that's something I'm definitely gonna talk to my doctor about, because I haven't seen her since I had the hospital visit in August. Okay, so yeah, I just want to rule out anything crazy going on. Everything was, he said, was unremarkable. The doctor term, unremarkable is good, remarkable is bad. Ain't that backwards though? But everything was great. He was like, A1C is perfect. Like, so it's no diabetes or anything. So I'm only doing it as a healthy thing. And it depends on what that's why I stand away from the yogurts with the fruit in it. Even if it's Greek with the fruit, it takes the fat content high because of the sugars. So, ooh, you got tested and ended up with a 12. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would say a little bit at a time because everybody's body different. I was supposed to eat because I was like, last year my A1C when I did my yearly physical was a 5.2, which is good. But when I went them days where I wasn't eating and stuff and just ripping and running, well, actually it went a couple of months to where I think it was actually breaking me down. August is when I made that hospital visit, and I think he said it was a 4.7 because they do all the tests and everything to make rule out anything, crazy. Especially when you're saying you're having a weird feeling, but it was because I wasn't eating. I was on, I had told y'all about that. I think my A1C was a 4.7, and A1C go back 3 months. So I was like, okay, last 3 months I have been not putting enough food in me because I've been on the go. So yeah, so you can barely speak, and see, yeah, it'll do that with high. And it'll do that, I guess, when you start getting low, because I know when my blood sugar is dropping. And when I get to the stage where I feel like my body's finna do a countdown, like a 10, 9. It's crazy how you know that you're at 10 right now. And it's going 9. ate, because I have years ago, I had went to the hospital for my GERD. And like if my GERD get extremely bad, I have to go and get this cocktail shot. It's a drink, they call it a cocktail shot, but it's like Lanacane, Malox, and something else, and then they give me my Pepsi. So you can't get that over the counter. You have to go there for that. So if I have like acute indigestion type situation going on, I have to go get that, and it kind of like reset my stomach or whatnot. So I had went, so I was at the hospital all that night. This was some years ago. And the next morning, I was discharged and stuff, left, and went straight to Walmart. Didn't stop, get nothing to eat, didn't do nothing, knowing I had been sitting up in the emergency room all night. In Walmart, walking around, and I stumbled. I started feeling like whoa. Running like you have like, I gotta get something. So I grabbed a bag of chips, opened them, put one in my mouth, and made it to the deli area where they used to have like the little hot chicken wings. And I got like 5 of them. And I stood there before paying for it or anything, because my body was at that 10, 9, where my mouth was watering up. I know that feeling. And it's crazy that you can get like that. Some of us is like that, and not even as diabetics. It's just how the body makeup is. So I get it. And I can't have a whole lot of sugar at once, because my anxiety level is be already on high, being OCD. And that sugar and fructose corn syrup, it do not agree with the GERD, and it do not agree with my my anxiety, to where it'll put me on a whole nother type of episode, and that could be a hospital visit. So yeah, I have to really be careful. You keep your glucose tablets on hand. Yeah, it's crazy if it get too high or if it get too low. It's crazy, and a lot of people, they'll brush it off and say, well, I'm not a diabetic, my doctor said I'm not a diabetic, so why am I? Still, you can, from my understanding, you can be hypoglycemic without diabetes. So the only way to fix that is to make sure you have protein. And a lot of people think to bring their blood sugar up, if they haven't ate or something, is with sugar. No. Now, that could be the quick way to do it, but it also can spike you really quick. They say the best way to bring it up is with protein. Okay, now if you in a danger zone, like I have been in a zone years ago, got out, dropped the kids when the kids was in public school, took them to school, and I went, I think, to Best Buy. And when I got out the car, I was walking in because I was by myself. I started, the ground looked like it was so far away. I'm like, okay. And I turned around. I said, I don't want to go in this place and pass out. So I turned around. I got back in the car. I had an Ensure with me, an Ensure Plus. And it was a chocolate one. I remember. I opened it and I downed it. I started feeling a little better. Enough to safely drive myself to a Oronde job. And when I got there, time I pulled in, it was none but God, because my body went straight like back in that zone. And I was able to get out, and I was kind of like stumbling around the thing, and I was calling out to them because I knew I was going to fall. But that was the closest place for me to get, by me being out by myself. And when he came around the corner, he kind of rushed to me, and by the time, and I just collapsed. And he got me to a chair. I think he had a Pop-Tart. And he was trying to feed it, and at that point, you don't even want to eat. It's like you don't want to eat. You get like aggressive. And these are the things why I'm telling you, when people get hungry, they're going to get like that. When that blood sugar drops, you get aggressive. Or either some people get, you be very lethargic. It's a bad feeling. So he, after he was forcing like the Pop-Tart in the side of my mouth, and then I guess I finally came to enough to, and he got me to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, I had got a Coca-Cola while I was waiting. When they took my blood sugar was 90. And she said, wait, you done drunk that whole bottle and your blood sugar is only at 90? She's like, honey, you was very low. That's why you was feeling like this, like you got to eat. But y'all know as a mom, you get busy. You get busy, and it's just, and if I'm stressed, I won't eat. If I'm stressed, I will not eat. And she was like, your blood sugar should be higher than this with drinking that. And she was like, the insurer really helped you get to his job because you had to be extremely low. Because they were saying what I had drunk sitting there should have had my blood sugar even higher. So I have to really pay attention. That's why I'm not playing with stocking food. I'm not playing with stocking things that need it. Don't play with that, because when these people, they don't have to be diabetics or nothing, but when the body goes without food, when the body goes without food, that can be bad. That can be really bad. I'm telling you from experience. And it wasn't that I didn't have and eat. And so that, and then this year came back doing the same thing. I was busy, getting things this done, taking kids to their physicals and all this, and just was not eating. When I thought about it, it's like, dang, it's 3 o'clock and I ain't ate. So now I got the issue of, maybe tell my it's the truth, my bowels and my intestines is full of bile now, and there is nothing to soak it up. I ain't got no energy, blood sugar dropped, and it was just a mess. So, and then it take days to get your body back on track once you done went into that mode. Okay, so you got to stock up. You get mean, confused, and don't speak what. Yes, because I figured it was my blood sugar in August, but I just wanted to go ahead and go and just, I don't play about that. I don't play about that. I will go and let them, make sure everything's good. And you get the slurring. I was slurring at the voice. If I tried to say something, my tongue was quivering and all that, and it was because I wasn't eating. I was not eating. Let me see. I have been taking this parasitic cleanse, and it's weird because I don't have an appetite, so I've been trying to find a better way of eating. Got you, Kayla. Got you. Hey, La Familia. So yeah, y'all. So it's a whole method why I say we need to make sure we have food and stuff on hand, because these people gets hungry enough and go in these places, it can be bad. It can literally be bad. Just put yourself in that situation right now. You ain't got no food, or you got kids. I told y'all a long time ago. I mentioned this several times, and some of you may remember what I'm going to tell you. When I got up here, 2008, I just talked to my granny every day. She would tell me, she's like, baby girl, make sure you are prepping. Make sure you have food and necessities in that house like we used to do, And she said, because you don't never want to look in your kid's face and they say, Mom, I'm hungry, and there's nothing you can do about it. You let that sink in. Those of you that got kids, you let that sink in. That your child come to you and tell you that they're hungry. Now look what's going on. A lot of people is dependent on food stamps, and they're not going to get them. Now you got to figure out how to feed your kids, because you didn't take out the time to get some beans and rice and things up in your house. She instilled that in me when I was little, growing up, because she raised me. So growing up, she would show me things, show me the getaway bag, where people call it bug out bags. I would help her organize and put stuff in it. My grandma had 7 kids, and it was hard. She had 7 kids, and a set of those was twins. She had 7 kids. It was hard. And then she had turned around and she raised her 3 grandkids. So she already knew how hard it would get. I remember going to work with her when I was little. before my brothers came to live, because I've always had been with my grandma since an infant. But my brothers, when they stayed with my mama for a good little bit, and then they came to live with us. And then after so many years, my mama got them back, but I remained with my grandma. And I remember when I was little going to work with her, and I would hear, we would go to work every day. She was working for a judge, and she was like a housekeeper. And I remember she would get paid. They was nice. They was and no racist thing. They was white people. They was really, really nice. And they always gave extra beans and stuff. Say go out there, go and get your sons to go out there and pick them beans and stuff. Take as many you want and all that. It was real nice. And I used to hear her, she get a check, it'd be $12. Now I didn't understand that. I'm little. I didn't understand that, but I remember those words. Now when I think about it, you go to work every day for $12, but the stuff was cheaper back then. But for $12, then almost everybody was on food stamps. But for $12, when you think about that, so I understand it was hard. It was hard. So it was instilled in me. Clean up until it got close for her when she passed away in 2018. It was instilled in me. And she knew, telling me that in that way, that I was gonna prep. Because I don't want now one of my kids to be sitting around looking at me sad and stuff, and I know what the body feels like when it's hungry. I know, because when I didn't want to bother none of my family. They had did so much for me. So when I decided to be grown and on my own at 18, I didn't want to go back. I could have went back home and stayed longer. I didn't want to. I wanted to since I was pregnant and I had this child, I knew then that I needed to do what I had to do. I worked at Office Depot and Best Buy. And all I could afford sometimes was just my rent and to feed Tatiana. Sometimes I would go to work, and when it was lunchtime, I would sit in the break room, everybody eating. I didn't have money to eat, and I did not contact my family. They did nothing to me. I just didn't. I just said I'm gonna do it on my own because of my choices, So sometimes I was going off on 2 pieces of light bread just to make sure she had what she needed. Because the daddy wasn't one. I had that accident at 7 months, when she was 7 months old, and where I was paralyzed. When I was paralyzed, he went and started dating somebody else. I was in the hospital, broke up, paralyzed from the waist down, and he went to the circus with somebody. That was the end of that relationship. So I had to do everything on my own, by choice, though, by choice. And I didn't let family know anything. So I know what it feels like working, only feeding your child, and working 2 jobs, catching a bus to get to each one, having enough money for her daycare. And it was a little expensive because I wanted to be able to have a camera where I could look in on my child while I was at work. It was one of those where there was a 24-hour camera there. So I could always go on my phone and look and see how she's being treated. So I had to pay more. But I did it. And sometimes I would eat 2 pieces of bread. Imagine how that only God sustained me. So when I say get food and stuff in your house, it's reasons behind it. If you don't eat, that body is going to break down. You're not going to be good for nobody. And people going to get very mean when they hungry. Or when they watching their babies hungry and they don't do anything. They're going to resort to stealing and harming people. It's just the way it is. And I don't want none of y'all to have to be out there in that chaos. That's just the way it is. Because them people that's making these rules up and not passing this, and they want this and they want that, it's for their benefits. They don't have nothing that's going to go on. I told y'all yesterday, if this happened and martial law is activated, somebody put it in the comments. I already knew this is the reason why I said it, but I didn't go in depth with it, but I'm going to say it now. Because the elections will be canceled. Look at how, I'm just going to break it down for you. I'm not saying this the way it is, but it's just, look at how many people is regretting their votes. People know that if people get hungry, they're going to start stealing and stuff. Just say, if martial law is activated, you can't vote for the upcoming elections. The plan. And so many is falling right in it. Who that benefits if it's activated? All right then. Hey, love bug. I be lightheaded though, and I'm not used to that. Oh, be careful, honey. So y'all, you can't have too much food. You can't. You can't have too much food. If you don't have a child of your own that you are responsible for, they could be grown, and on their own, like grown. You may see another child that you can help. You got to be a cold-hearted person to be able to walk past any child and see them in need and don't help them. You got to be real cold-hearted. I'll let them know. If only they pay attention to it. That's why I don't trust. I don't trust. Everybody, well, most of everybody is all for themselves. So yeah. I'm gonna finish this. I only got a little bit more to go. Hold on. Okay. So I'm gonna say here listening and driving. Thank you, love bug. You have a lot of folks out here buying cars and material things. I look at them like you can't eat that. Yeah. At this point, you have to prioritize your priorities. Or are you going to starve out here? Yeah. Everybody looking at Gaza and all this. How them poor people over there was hungry, kids picking grass and stuff to eat. And now look at this. It's starting small. EBT. Yeah, you know how many people is on food stamps? And there is people, and I've said this for years, and people got mad and got cute in the comment section because they didn't like it. They just tell me it applied to them. There's a lot of people on food stamps that don't need to be. Able-bodied work, and all they doing is popping out babies and laying up and being taken care of. Those are the ones that do not need to be on food stamps. Those are the ones. Those are the ones. They do not need to be on food stamps. But yet, they get on food stamps. And they have more babies and more babies and more babies. And don't work at all. Their job is to have babies. But then you got disabled people, elderly people. They can't even get them about $25 food stamps a month. If they get that. I remember when I went to apply some years ago, I went to apply again. And they told me, I showed them, they asked you like what type of work you do. I showed them my Uber and my Lyft and my DoorDash and my Uber Eats and all that. And she said, okay, you was approved. She said, you can get $25 food stamps a month, but you gotta write on a piece of paper and sign it in front of me saying that you will cut off all of your jobs. What? Wait. I had a promise not to do DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, Instacart, all those. I all because of Oronde VA income. That was the kicker. His VA income alone knocked us out from getting food stamps. To where I had to agree to stop working to get a month. Lady, please. Nah, no thank you. You can keep your $25. And then they don't even look at, they look at the amount your monthly income is, not looking at how high your rent is, how high the bills is, that light bill and stuff. They taking that up, making you pay more. So that's canceling out whatever income you get in. A family of 5, and she wanted me to stop, to write on a piece of paper saying that I would no longer do DoorDash and Uber and Lyft, because I was an Uber rideshare driver and a Lyft driver at the time. And I had to cancel, I had to do all that. No ma'am. That $25 ain't finna pay no bill. I just came here to see if y'all was gonna give it to me. It was a try. If I would have got it, cool. But I'm not. No, I told you keep the $25. We good. We good. But somebody can come in there, don't work, popping out babies, and they can get it with ease. They in government housing paying $10 a month. 6, 7 kids, no job, able body, and they can get food stamps. Ain't trying to do nothing to help themselves. And it's sad to say, they really not taking care of the kids by giving those food stamps. Because some of these folks is feeding Pookie and Peanut. They giving the kids wieners. I know because I done seen it. And they feeding that man steak that once he get full and lay up with you a couple days, he laying up with the next chick. She done got her food stamps, so he over there and lay up with her. You may see him in the next week or two with a little funky $40. And you think that's cool? Girl, he coming back waiting on that next round of steaks and shrimps and stuff you got while your kids over there eating them cold hot dogs. Ain't nothing nutrition about it. It's sad to say, but it's the truth. I done seen it. 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 Belly just full. Yes, Kayla. Belly full. Now he over there with his other little chick, cause she finna get hers on the 15th. You got yours on the 3rd. She get her on 15th. He done ate all he could from house to house, put on the post. Eating all them kids food stamp. And before you could get home and cook, he done went through their noodles and stuff. Laid up, half taking a bath, just nasty. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't lying. I done seen it with my own eyes. Grew it up back home. Even when I was on my own. I done seen it. It is sad. It's sad. I can name off about 30 people back home right now that I done seen that when I was little. They would be mad with me. But that is the truth. It's truth. I have seen it. And I'm glad, I thank God I was not raised and brought up like that. My granny did not. I'm so glad. And the fact that I don't raise my kids, I ain't never raised my kids like that. But it's people think they got it made, and that's exactly what they doing. And then some people get mad with me because some of the stuff that I talk about, they did when they was young. When they was having kids, then they come in the comment section mad with me saying, you think you know what, because you did it? I'm speaking about something that you did. That ain't my fault that you did it, that you raised your kids like that. That ain't my fault. And I ain't down nobody, ain't called nobody out or nothing like that. I'm just saying. But people get real cute in the comment section where when you hit something, instead of saying, yeah, that used to be me, but I'm better now. I don't do that no more. I was young and no, you want to get mad. Or either you got a child somewhere that's doing the same thing that I'm saying. Now you mad with me because we about the same age and I ain't programmed like that. Okay. He got to go. Honey, we say he got to go, but some people will do anything for a man. That's my man. They'll do anything. Them kids over there, go in the refrigerator and get y'all a wiener, cold wieners. I have seen it and it was sad. And he laid up on the couch, probably finna light him a fat one. Kids in the house. Let me tell you something. Going doing deliveries, we see it. Go to houses that smell like pure OD weed outside. You seem like you almost got a contact. Just by being on the outside. You done just want to pick up whole seafood boils. You know them little kids ain't finna eat that. You ain't finna feed that to them little kids. Dude come out, blunt all in my looking nasty and stuff. You hear the kids, whole little thing running around. Yard ain't mowed, toys all outside. And you can see a little bit on the floor. It's dirty as I don't know what up in there. And he coming pants all the way down here and doing this and looking at you crazy, ain't got no respect, no nothing. I see it now. I see it now. And it's sad. And it's sad. That's just the way it is. And she'll holler, that's my man, a fighter woman and everything over that man. And it's like, I ain't never been the type to fight over no man. I'm not gonna fight over no man. Point blank period. No. No. Breath stinking, feet stinking. You right. Look like they ain't had a bath in yesteryears. Some of them I'm like, then they had them dreads and they look nasty. They ain't kept. I'm like, man. You need an outside bathtub, and I need a whole bottle of bleach and hot water. And you need to repeat that a couple of times. Because you can tell when a person, especially some men and stuff, you can see the dirt and stuff in the crevices of their hands and stuff. I look at a man's hands. And, you know, some men, if they dark, their nails, they have natural dark color nails. But you can tell when some ain't clean. When you got dirt that's been accumulated in the... Nah. If back here around the neck it got spot patches that look like birthmarks or something, but they dark patch and that's nasty. And some of them will go get one good outfit and wear it about 10 days straight. And they thugging. And then they gonna go up to this house where these kids at, ain't gonna have no respect for her nor the kids, gonna smoke weed in there, gonna call her and gonna cuss all in front of the kids, gonna call her different type of names. She gonna deal with it. He may come and bring her a little funky $40, and that's good, and now we gonna eat good off of these food stamps, and we gonna do this and them poor little kids. That's sad, but that is what happens. Be passing. Oh my goodness. I just wanted to didn't get the notification now watching it live. Hey Brenda, thank you so much, honey. Thank you. She said lazy, amen. Yeah. Can't now looking like that approach me if I was single. Now, and I've dated, some of my exes, they didn't look the way they look or carried themselves the way they carried themselves now when I dated them, because I have standards, because I care about myself, okay? I'm not going to lower my standards, and they're very simple. Be clean and respectful. Very simple. You know, back then when I was dating, it was just that simple. Some people hid it, but when I found out that you were just putting on a show, it was done. Okay? It's done. It's done. Done. So, men like that is not to be trusted around any kid. No. I've never left my kids. If I was in the hospital having a child, then that's the only time I was not with my kids. When we had military balls, they one time a good friend of mine, we stayed in the conjoined houses on bases. Like it was two separate houses and whatnot, but they was kind of like a duplexes, I guess you could say. And she great. She the only ones that kept my kids one night while we went to the military ball. And then the other balls, they had other years they had the daycare was inside the hotel in a room where they had, you know, the military had set up for. So you could always leave the ballroom floor and go to the hotel room to check on your child or whatnot. Other than that, I have never left my kids. I don't trust people. I've never loved my kids, and I've never had my kids around anybody that I knew was not, no, do not bring that around my kids. At all. My brother, I have one brother, he lives that life. He'll tell you, he about that life, okay? He's been in a game for a long time. He has rank. He loved my kids to death. But even the times he came here to visit and stuff, even him, and he wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even have to say nothing. But even him, I still had rules, you know. Because certain lifestyle, you know, some things come with lifestyles. And far as how people talk and this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, can't do this around my kids. You want to do that, you got to go somewhere else, because that can't be done here. you know, whatever the case may be. You know, I'm just saying in general. But my brother is always respectful. He's never, you know, had no issue. But, you know, sometimes as a parent, you have to kind of remind, you know. You have to remind. That goes for anybody when it comes to my kids. If I don't do it or live that type of lifestyle, it's not going to be around my kids. Under no circumstances. Nope. His mindset is, I'm only here for food and something else. Kayla, food and something else. That what the old people said that the little funky 40 come in at. That's all you there for. And a little bit of shelter for the time being. Now. Because some of them is from pillar to pole. Now, not all men. I'm just talking about certain ones. So if you're getting offended, I'm going to say this. If you watch this and you're getting offended, the only way you would get offended is if it applies to you. Not all men. Let me correct that. There are some good men. But y'all know. There's also the ones that we just talked about. You ain't learned. Yeah. My kid, mom, when they was in prison, somebody sleepover. Ain't no sleepover. Well, can they come here? Nope. I don't want to be responsible for nobody's kids. Somebody go, they done took their child somewhere the day before and left them, and somebody did something to them, and then they bring their child to my house the next day, and then when something come up wrong with them or something, the last person they gonna say that they was at your house, and I ain't getting set up for the okie-doke. I seen that happen back home growing up. I'm not getting set up for the okie-doke. I ain't keeping nobody kids. Nobody kids. Nope. Y'all be just fine. Nope. Not doing it. I know that's right, love bug. I know that's right. Same here. We had get-togethers and stuff. It was able for kids to be there. You're not going nowhere. I ain't do no club hopping, no none of that stuff. I'm 38 years old and ain't never been to a real club. And I never have. We went to this little place. It was one year for military ball. It was in Wilmington. We walked the strip. And my brother had came to visit. He went to the ball with us. And he was like, let's go up in here, let's go up in here, let's go up in here. I don't want to go in there. I stepped foot in there. It's all dark and blue. And they up in there just doing all this. And I don't even know it was heavy metal and all this. No, let me just back out. I carried my tail to one of them holes in the walls with the pool table and the low lighting and the man up there playing the little saxophone thing, and you got Willie Clayton playing. I went to one of those and sat my tail down and got me a nice drink and got in the booth all the way in the back. It was only about 5 people up in there, and I was happy for the rest of the night. My kids was right at the hotel, and the little daycare thing that they had for the military kids or whatnot. That's what I did. I said, "No, boy, I told Oronde, I was like, I ain't did this. No, I can't. I never done it. Never done it. Never. That pool table and that little booth sitting all the way in the back, and the bar and the low lighting, about 5 people in it. but they was all older. That's my type of vibe. That's my type of vibe. Okay? 'Cause 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna end up in jail. That's my type of vibe. And that's exactly where I went and had myself a good old time. And that night, I don't know, the man, they would play like Willie Clayton and Teddy Pendergrass, stuff like that. I like, okay. I'm like, back home, okay. And then they'll have like a little break, and then he got up there and he would play the saxophone. It was so hot up in there. It was extremely hot. They had the door open or whatnot. It was hot. And he would take his rag and wipe that sweat and put it back down and get the door. I like, okay. And that while everybody else was doing all the bar hopping and all this, I had the bar, you know. Give me a little Long Island ice, you know, a little cran vodka or whatnot. Okay? And I sit here chill, mellow. And at this point, I was in my mid-20s, and that was my vibe. I'd rather be around some older people, okay? And just, you know, yeah. Now that would have been my same vibe, old school and chill. Ain't got time for that twerking and tweaking and twerking and all that stuff. No. I've always been old school, old soul. And you know, sometimes people try to penalize you for that. They'll try to penalize you and say you think you know it all, this, that, and the other, because you're an old soul, and especially if you're more, I guess you could say, a little more wiser than your peers or whatnot. They try to make you feel bad for that. I know growing up, people used to always like tell my grandma, like, she's so advanced for her age. I've always been an old soul, and that is okay. That is literally okay. I'd rather be that than to be out there with my peers. Cause I be watching stuff back home, and some of my peers, you know, quite a few of my classmates are already 40, so I guess they was held behind, or either birthdays were late or early or late or whatever, I don't know. But I'm 38, so between, I'm gonna say 38 and 40-year-olds, I know they twerking it up and drinking like crazy and doing all that. Not knocking nobody, it's just not me. My hip hurts to be doing all those hopping and jumping. Earthy said, hip hurt. Yeah, so I find peace at being at home and being solo dolo, because if I'm solo dolo, I ain't gotta watch over my back. Not too much. Still got to, but I ain't gotta have nobody that acting like they for you and backstab you. I saw it was an illustration somebody had posted the other day. And it was two dudes. They was friends, and they was holding. Well, one dude had his arm around. It wasn't no like they wasn't a couple, and they was, you know, cool. An illustration where the guy had the other guy like this. You know how back in the day it wasn't no funny business. It was just they. And I guess they was talking or whatnot, but the guy that had his arm around that one, he had his hand behind his back, like this. And it shows, so he's like this, but like this, and it showed he was holding a knife. And the illustration was, one guy thought that was his friend, but he was, I guess, backstabbing him, you know? So, it's like, yeah, I ain't gotta do that. Yes, I feel you, MGL. I never went to clubs that sings say you can do it better at home. I always been a homebody. Yeah, I can get twisted at home. And ain't gotta worry about nobody doing nothing to me. I can get twisted at home, okay? And that's what I used to do. When we lived on base, we would have get-togethers and stuff, or we would go to other people's houses that we was walking distance. You know, you got all these, you know, military families and mingling and stuff like that. And you know, you get a little twist. I never would get either way. If I were to get drunk, he wouldn't. If he were to get drunk, I wouldn't. You know, you just a little feel good so you can walk home safely with the kids, because somebody got to be responsible with the kids. But it was done where I could walk from my house and straight down the block to our friend's house or whatnot. And that was when we was on base, because base is a zero tolerance. So you don't need to be driving after you done had something to drink anyway. So I do that, or we hosted a lot of parties and stuff from like for his unit and stuff, or people we knew at our house. And yeah, but that was fine because when everybody left, and sometimes they just stayed over. They're like, look here, give me your keys. You waste it. You're not gonna go and say, oh, you get in trouble or hurt somebody. It's like I left my stuff at the house. No, give me your keys. Here you go, blanket. Make yourself comfortable. That's what it was. Take a nap. Because you can't leave here. You cannot leave here, okay? Not intoxicated. And that's just the way it was. Going out there and doing all this, you gotta get a cab back, and you don't know if you done passed out in the cab, you don't know what they doing and all this type of stuff. And then you run the risk of getting roofied and all that. I ain't got time for that. I did not have time for that. And I didn't want to leave my kids, so I wanted to be at home. So that's what it was. And when we would go to our friend's house, there would be so many kids and whatnot. You just had to watch your kids and whatnot, make sure they ain't doing nothing, tearing nobody's house or getting into nothing, and that was just cool, And that's how I vibe. I can't do the other stuff. I can get drunk and pass out in the comfort of my own home. Exactly. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I know that's right. I'm full now, y'all. Ain't nothing like a glass of wine and some old school nice R&B and some candles lit in the comfort of your own home. I be singing my little heart. I know that's right, La Familia. I know that's right. All right, y'all, look. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I went into my other live screen time. Hold on, y'all. I see a message. So, somebody left a comment on the one about the live stream about the EBT. They say 11 minutes ago. They say what you're not taking into consideration is if we didn't have EBT at all, people who were potentially getting money from people with food stamps and are not now would also be paying way less in taxes. So it evens out. Keep in mind, half of federal and state taxes go to welfare programs. Huh? Huh? Can anybody explain? Because I'm kind of lost. I'm lost on it. Seriously, I'm kind of lost. Let me read that again. What you're not taking into consideration is if we didn't have EBT at all, people who were potentially getting money from people with food stamps and are not now would also be paying way less in taxes, so it evens out. Keep in mind, half of federal and state taxes go to welfare program. Okay, hold up. That was a lot because there's only 2 commas out of this whole thing. And no more, nothing. So it's kind of like running on. I literally don't understand what this person was trying to say. I literally, genuinely don't understand. But I guess I wasn't taking something into consideration. Somebody else left a message and said, all y'all who gonna loot and steal gonna be crying next week. Y'all live in a food desert. I can understand that. If people go loot and steal, them stores gonna close. Now ain't nobody gonna have no no access to food and stuff. So it's not a good time. Everybody gonna have their, let's see. Oh, this person, the same person left another comment, the one that I don't understand what they were saying. Did they delete it? Cause I click on it. Hold on. Seems like that video is getting a lot of traction with people. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, hold up. Where is it? I don't see it. Let me see. It look like, cause I don't see it no more. It look like they edited or they deleted that one. I can only see part of it. I have to check my Gmail because it should be in my Gmail account. But people are not starving prior to food stamp. This country throws away so much food, and then that's the last part I can see. Somebody said, you're telling the truth, MGL. A lot of people didn't prepare, and it was right in their face. Keep prepping, stay safe, everyone. Blessings. A lot of people didn't, and they still don't have no desire. I guess they're going to be looking for normalcy again. It ain't been normal since 2020, since COVID. But to some people, this is going to be normal, I guess. I don't know, y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off in here, y'all. Kayla said, yeah. La Familia said, scratch head, yeah. Cause I'm like, I don't understand how that read. Drunk singing, me, myself, and I by Beyonce. Kayla, now you gonna have that song in my head. The old school Bone Farm, LOL, Brenda Smith. Jonah Kendrick, hey. So y'all, yeah, I'm gonna get off in here. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I shall see y'all. May see y'all back here in a little bit. Yes, people have to prepare and stop ignoring the signs. Yes, love bug, they do, but they're not going to. People just cannot get that wrapped around their head that they need to prepare, and things are playing out right in front of them, and they're not paying attention. So all you can do is tell them, try to warn them, but you can't stress yourself out, because you'll spend your time telling them and less time doing what you have to do. See y'all on the next slide. Thank you, Kayla. This all have to be in effect for quite some time now. Oh, this all have been in effect. Yes. See you on the next live. I'm Kayla. Stay safe, honey. Thank you for coming in. Hugs and well wishes, MGM family. Thank you for La Familia. So I will see y'all. I want all y'all to be safe. Love y'all. And I shall see y'all in the next one, okay? Bye.